quick of our Torah. Yesterday, as we know, was Tisha B'Av, the saddest day in the Jewish calendar. You know, it was not a happy day. And there are a lot of things, bad things that happened to us on Tisha B'Av, not the least of which was the destructions of the first and second temple. And our rabbis say the reason for the destruction of the temples, of course, was we were not treating each other properly. Jewish society had broken down, and therefore we were deserving of being conquered. Remember that if you look at history, usually when an army armies at war, one of the areas that the one side always tries to do the other is disturb their morale, to make the soldiers and the population think they are losing. And when your morale is already broken down before that, it's much easier. But juxtaposed with Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, is Tu B'Av, which the Gemara says is the happiest day of the Jewish year. And so just say, wait a minute, that's 6 days later. You know, how can you have all this happiness when you just went through this whole 3-week period of mourning for the destruction? And that is a key to Jewish life. We are not to give in to despair. There's always a future. That we have to work to, okay, this bad thing happened, now let's start to rebuild. And notice, by the way, the big thing about Tu B'Av is when families work to make matches for the wedding, for the future of the Jewish people. There's a very famous story in the Gemara when rabbis it's in Makot, I believe it's 23, that the rabbis were looking at the Temple Mount, and they saw foxes emerge from the Temple Mount. And all the rabbis were saying, oh, what a disaster, foxes on the Temple Mount, so desolate, because they remembered the temple when it stood. And Rabbi Akiva laughed. And he said, Rabbi Akiva, why are you laughing? And he said, well, why are you crying? And he said, well, the reason is there's a prophecy that, you know, if you continued going down the path you're going, the temple will be destroyed. And Rabbi Akiva said, that's the reason I'm laughing, because you read the rest of that prophecy, it says that once again, Jerusalem will be a place of people, Jews living, old people will sit in there, etc. And the fox, let's face facts something about the fox. This shows ultimate desolation, because foxes do not hang out where there are people. They don't like to be around people. So when you see the absolute desolation of the temple, you see the first half of the prophecy, and now I know there'll be the second half as well. Now, if you go back and remember that from 1948 until 1967, the old city of Jerusalem was in Jordanian hands. Jews were forbidden from living there or from visiting there as well. And one of the things the Jordanians did when they took over the old city was destroy. There were 2 synagogues they destroyed. The Horva, as we know, was rebuilt, and they're now in the process of building the other synagogue. I believe it's the Italian. Now, when they began to rebuild it, they did an archaeological survey, and they discovered the mikveh of the synagogue from before 1948. Interesting. They dug down, and they found relics from the Mamluk period, and then from the Byzantine period. And when they dug down beneath there, what did they discover? No. They discovered a mikveh from the time of the first temple. Okay? There was a mikveh of the synagogue after the Mamelukes. They dug down, and they found the mikveh from the time of the second temple, excuse me. showing that Jewish life continues. Uh, and that's the important lesson of Tu B'Av. Jewish life continues. We cannot let disasters get the better of us. Yes, it's a disaster. Yes, we have to mourn over what we lost, but then we build for the future. And that is the key to Jewish life. Remember the past, don't forget it, but also remember that that's in the past. Learn your lessons and then build for the future to make the future a better place. Something to think about.